technically on take 2 right now because we had some audio issues with the last one. So I know I know I put out the little snippet, the little screenshot. They probably gonna be like, yo, why everybody clothes changed? Everything look kind of wild, but still, last time, yo, when we got on, yo, we had a mad good conversation, and we started out talking about Jake Paul, right?
That's right.
So I'll be real with you, right? I had a little bit of change of heart from the last time we talked about it.
Okay, talk to me.
So I do believe it's a good idea. I believe it's a good idea that Jake Paul and Tommy Fury fight now, right? Mm-hmm. And mind you, the reason I really want to talk about Jake Paul was because of Fanatico. So the fans was coming at him wild, yo, after the fight, right? I hopped right onto it and I told him in his video that he did talking about Jake Paul. The fans was coming at him crazy. I jumped right on Twitter and I see some dude talking about, yo, I'm unfollowing you, yo, I'm unsubscribing from you because you support, YouTube boxers. And I'm like, dude, it's like, come on, man, that's ridiculous, right? So the fact that he even did that video, I thought was unnecessary. You know, I know why he did it, but it shouldn't even been necessary. Like, you ain't got to defend yourself at all, at all, or your viewpoint, period. But I will say that I do believe it's a good idea for Jake Paul and Tommy Fury to fight. Mm-hmm. Before my thought was, look, I think if they fought right now, yo, Jake Paul would win that fight, right?
Okay.
Jake Paul would win based off of what you've kind of seen from him from like his first fight to this last one.
Yeah.
Because the man went 8 rounds, right? Nobody knew that he could go 8 rounds.
Yeah, it was the first. That was the first.
He did it against a 39-year-old who doesn't really have any boxing experience, but he's experienced in his own right? He did get his chin tested at a certain, I think it was the 4th round. The controversial 4th round where everybody's like, yo, should have been a knockdown because he was like leaning up on the rope. And he was. Yeah, my man was kind of leaning out of the ropes.
He was out the rope. He was in the first aisle. I actually saw him sat right next to Frank Warren at one point. So he was all the way out. He wasn't even a little out. He was out.
Yeah, I think he skated by on that one. You know, he should have.
If it was WWE, you know, you get knocked out the ring, and it's just like game over. You're done. Like the count starts. That's basically what happened to Jake Paul that day.
They let Jake climb out, get back in, slid under the bottom rope.
Yeah, he was sliding, bro.
But nonetheless, like, that brother showed that he can get tested. He knows, like, that he can handle the pressure, right? And that's something about boxing, yo, in general, that's different from every other sport. Is because you don't know what you got, yo, until you in that ring and you hit that test. And that test can come literally at any time, yo. But Jake passed it. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get hounded because he ain't fought an actual boxer yet. But this is where my criticism for Tommy Fury comes in, okay? The combined record for Tommy Fury, he's got what, 7 fights? 7 fights now?
He's got 7 fights, yeah. Obviously, the last one being Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, 7 fights, 4 knockouts. So he's sitting at what? I ain't a math genius, but he's, 55% KO? Something roughly, right? So the combined record of his opponents is 14 wins, 149 losses. All right? My man, he might as well be fighting MMA fighters himself.
Might as well.
You know
At that stage, you might as well.
Like,
you might as well.
He ain't even, and the thing, dude, you should be knocking all them cats out. You know? And I get that he ain't got a full amateur, like a broad amateur background. Tommy Fury had 12 fights?
Yeah.
12 fight amateur career. And not really any like huge accolades. But his career was short. And I get it.
Yeah.
But from what I seen from him in that last fight, dude, I was not impressed with Tommy Fury. All right, I was not impressed at all, really. He is herky jerky like his like his brother. But I wouldn't even call Tyson Fury herky jerky, because everything he does with intent, and he does it for a reason. All right, he's very big on feinting, hard feinting, soft feinting, like you name it, he uses it. I don't think Tommy has the same IQ. Granted, he's only in his 7th pro fight. But I think if Jake stepped in there with him now, instead of letting Tommy get a little bit more seasoned, I think that fight goes either way.
Okay, I hear you. I think I agree with a lot of what you said, especially around. Let's run it back a minute, because we looked at Tommy Fury's career, and the one thing to note is he fought Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. For some weird reason, I've been following Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor's career for quite a while now. Started off within MMA, and that's usually been the crux of where he'd been fighting and stuff. So this was the first for him. He fought a shorter guy who was debuting / 1 or 2 fights within boxing, and he went life and death 50-50 with him. Life and death 50-50 with him. Now, Jake Paul fought Tyron Woodley, GOAT of the UFC, MMA welterweight GOAT, and got a split decision win. Yet one of these guys gets crucified and told, oh, you only did it against a UFC guy, but the other guy, oh, you beat a boxer. You beat a boxer today. It's very different worlds Jake Paul and Tommy Fury live in. I think that Jake Paul's experience does have a bit more experience in terms of fighting the likes of Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley. I think on his resume looks nice. They're nice names to have. Yes, they're not boxers, but in terms of the experience that Tommy Fury's had in comparison, I mean, you said it yourself. What is it? You say 12 wins or 14 wins and 100 odd defeats they've had as a combined effort?
14.
Are we trying to?
49.
Are we trying to say? So this is what I'm trying to say. Are we trying to say that Tyron Woodley would not beat any of the guys that Tommy Fury's already fought?
It's a good question. I mean, what I saw from Woodley was a guy who was gun shy, right? We know that T Woods, man, he could be a critical overthinker, and I do believe, and this, look, I do believe that he didn't want to get popped. Like, I don't think this man was trying to end up cycling through boxing Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Face flat, people out there making memes of you with you on a pillow. You know what I'm saying? You doing all kinds of stuff. You know, like you ain't trying to get a meme, dog. Like ain't nobody trying to go down that road, right?
When you come out and say I'm doing it for the culture, you best believe you better do something for the. I'm telling you now, man. If you get memed Nate Robinson style, it ain't a good look, man. People ain't gonna forget it.
So he was not trying to get put on a NyQuil box, right? Like he's not trying to have that happen, yo. And I don't blame him, but at the same time, like T Woods, for one night, you was almost being looked at as a savior, yo. Like you was going to be the guy who was going to save boxing from the YouTubers. So listen, I'll put it to you like this: because people have such a hard time accepting Jake Paul for what he's doing right now.
Oh yeah, massively.
Jake Paul did come out of his own pocket. All right, he came out of his own pocket, spread his money around on the card. You know, I think Serrano got like 500,000 or something like that. I think he gave her half of his like 1 mil that he split.
Tyron Woodley, that was his biggest payday.
You know, and then it's like, I understand the entertainment side, and I understand why people are mad at that entertainment side, right? Like it's like he's making a mockery of the sport and all this, and I get it, and I partially agree. I partially agree, because ultimately, and this is something we said the last time, man. Ultimately, you want to protect the fabric of the sport itself, man. Like you don't want this sport to be looked at like it's some game, because it's not. We all know nobody goes out there and says, yo, let's go play boxing. But right now you got the Chad Johnsons, you got the Lamar Odoms, you got these cats coming in here, you got old heads out there fighting. And it's all fun and games, man, until somebody gets hurt. B, we
Yeah.
just had an 18-year-old female. We had an 18-year-old female who just took a knockout in the ring and just died. She was just pronounced dead, yo. I got the alert this morning. It's wild, B. Like, this ain't no game, yo. It's some serious, like, danger to it. So, if Jake was to fight Tommy Fury, who is a fighter, two things will happen, all right? He'll get accepted partially by a certain group for taking it serious enough to fight an actual fighter. But he's also going to get criticized for everything that I just said before. He's going to get criticized for fighting a dude that was mad green, who came in his pro debut, fought a guy who was 10 wins and 109 losses. And for fighting a guy who right now has a opponent combined record of 14 wins and 149 L's, man. Like, they're going to say he just chose an easy opponent to introduce himself to a real boxer in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I think the man is almost in a lose-lose situation, yo.
He is, man. I kind of there's parts of that I agree. I think Jake Paul, however, will always be the villain. He will never be the good guy. No matter what he does, he will always be the bad guy. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing for us because there's a group of people out there that want to just see this guy get knocked out.
Need a villain.
No matter what happens. He's the villain. I just want to see. I don't care. I don't care what he's doing for the sport. I'm not interested in the fact that he's putting pay-per-view fights together and he's making Daniel Dubois money and he's getting him out there in America, or he's setting up a bit of a storyline between him and Tommy Fury. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about that entertainment. I just want to see this YouTuber get knocked out by somebody in any means or any way. So I think no matter what he does, it is lose-lose. But like I said, there's two sides to it, and one side I do agree. It's all fun and games until someone gets knocked out. It's all great then, but when someone gets knocked out and they're hurting in hospital, it's not a good time. But the other side of that is the undercard. Jake Paul isn't putting his best friends on there. It's not Logan Paul and these YouTube kids. It's Daniel Dubois, a genuine British, like, superstar, upcoming superstar heavyweight who is introducing to America. One thing we know about Daniel is he's not the biggest talker. He can't talk. Jake Paul did all the talking for him that day, and all he did was big punch. Here I am, America. I'm here. Tommy Fury. America didn't know who Tommy Fury was. We do because of Love Island here in the UK, but over there, he was nothing. He put him on the undercard, set him up with his best friend, and said, "Oh, you beat my best friend? We've got a bit of a story here. I'll fight you next."
I mean, look,
Man.
Tommy Fury on Love Island, man. Like, he's an entertainer himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Love Island was on YouTube, dog, they'd be calling him a YouTube fighter too. You know?
Yeah, it's the same thing. The only difference is because if Tommy Fury was called Tommy Johnson and he didn't have the Fury last name, what you'd be saying the same thing. You'd be saying this guy's the Love Island kid.
Yeah, more likely. And I mean, yeah, morally, you're probably right, yo. But so, speaking of, and to your point, dog, Regis Prograis and Ivan Redcatch was on the Triller card that he was on last time. So he's always got he's got professional fighters, you know what I mean, on those undercards. So look, I know it seems kind of wild because I know last time people was like, yo, I'd be bugged out to be a pro fighter, yo, who has had belts before on this man's undercard. But
Are you trying to get paid?
You know, but I was about to say at the same time,
Are you trying to get paid or not?
It's a good chance you making your biggest payday, you know. So
you gotta put that to the side, man. You trying to get that money, bro. What do you want? What do you want? But like that, if you combine like all these YouTube fights, it hasn't been many. What, like 3 or 4? You've had Billy Joe Saunders on one, Devin Haney, Badu Jack. Who did you just mention then? There was 2 other names.
Oh, Regis Prograis and
Regis Prograis on there.
Ivan Redcatch.
I think was Michael Hunter on one.
Was he? I don't know if Michael Hunter was on one.
I saw him on a Triller fight, but I don't know if that was a YouTube Triller fight. But I saw him on doing something with Triller.
Maybe.
Regardless, there's 5 names there who are solid fighters, all on a YouTuber undercard. People are getting paid. That's the main thing at the moment. the fighters are not getting paid, not necessarily in boxing, but MMA. But regardless, people are getting paid, and we're seeing fights. It's a win for us.
Switching gears though, because I know fans about to lose their mind, yo, over that portion of the conversation.
I can hear their keyboards now. We're not even uploaded the video yet. I can hear that. Who is this concept reason coach? Get out of here!
And look, and mind you, it's not like I'm a Jake Paul fan at all. Like, I've actually never seen any of Jake Paul's content outside of the fighting. You know what I mean? Like, I had no idea who he was until the fighting.
Exactly the same. I don't follow him on YouTube. I couldn't tell you the last video he uploaded. We're not I can speak, I'm speaking for you here, but we're not bothered about Jake Paul, the YouTuber. Not interested in that. But you put him in a ring and the stuff around the ring and what he's doing for boxing, that's where we come into it.
Yeah, I agree. So, dog, I was yesterday, because we got to hit ESBC. So yesterday they dropped a 9-fighter announcement. Yo, what did you think of the 9 names? Because I can tell you right now, currently we're in a climate where if it ain't Tank, Haney, Teo, you know what I'm saying, Ryan Garcia, everybody's like, dog, I ain't worried about the names that they got on there. Unless they're your like really, really like hardcore like fans. Because I actually really liked the announcement yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Them names go back for me, yo, you know? But I'm a strong student and I'm a strong like historian of all of this, man. So what did you think of it?
Do you know what? When I saw this, when I was watching the video, I automatically thought of my uncle and I thought of kind of my elders. So the likes of Mike McCallum, Michael Nunn. These are guys that my dad and my uncles used to watch and go, man, these guys were serious back in the day. And if that's going to be supporting us getting that demographic into boxing or into getting this into this boxing game, I'm 110% for it. Because I told my dad, damn, like Michael Nunn's going to be in this game. And he went, really? He couldn't believe it. He didn't think that would happen. So from that perspective, I think it's really good. And I like this format. I prefer this format of telling us what is happening within ESBC. They said that the development updates are no longer going to be a thing.
Yeah.
I think they said they outgrown that. But if the replacement is this video format where we're going to be getting the latest fighters, new abilities and new different features that they've added to ESBC, I'd much prefer that. I don't know about you.
So I'll say there's 2 sides to it, right? And there's the content creator side of it, and then there's the fan side, right? Like, it's great that they're just able to just drop this information, because this is what, like the second drop. The second drop in probably about 4 or 5 weeks maybe. They had the one the little gift that they dropped just not too long ago. I think that was the same night of the Jake Paul fight.
Yeah.
And then here it is. We got the 9-fighter announcement. We just recently got the Shakur Stevenson announcement. Only a few weeks ago from that one. I think that's only three weeks old, maybe 3.5 weeks.
Man, they're keeping us on our toes, man.
Right. So we're getting consistent content still. And that's great on the fan side of things. Now, I'll say on the content creator side of things, right, that it's not the same. It's not. When they were doing the monthly updates, every creator was able to grab this update. They was able to make a video out of it. They was able to break it down. And it was your interpretation versus my interpretation versus 19 other interpretations, man. And that gave the community the ability to latch on to certain people. You know, it's like finding a good church. It's like, look, I'll go to this church, I'll go to that church. Yo, this cat is speaking to me today. You know what I mean? So I'm staying here with this man, you know? It was like that, but we lose that ability a little bit. And you actually, as a content creator, have to stay on your toes a little more. You have to stay a little bit more plugged in, because you could miss it easily.
Yeah,
you could miss it. Now, they did do something that I thought was good. Varys in the Discord had put it out there and basically had said, you know, he hit everybody on the Discord and was like, "New video just dropped." So, and I think it was in the announcements section or ESBC News, one of the two, which was great. But for any content creator right now who ain't on the Discord, you're missing out. You might want to go ahead and get on the Discord.
Get on that. Get on it. 100%.
Any fan that ain't in the Discord, you better get in there if you want to stay on top of it.
It's true.
Any fan or content creator who ain't following those Twitter pages, you better get on it because you are going to miss out. You know what I mean? And that is really kind of like, that's the drawback to it. But I get why they say they had outgrown the format. I'm not mad at them like moving on.
Do you think that there's a balance to be struck between videos like what we saw obviously yesterday and like a text-based format? Like, do you want like a mix between the two? Like, would you want, so for example, would you want like releases and stuff to be on like a video, but then stuff like, oh, we've improved this particular AI feature or this particular punch mechanic? Would you prefer that to be like a text-based message?
I think both because when it comes to text, man, like you have freedom to speculate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
That is a huge portion of building hype in general, man. Like when you feed it straight to somebody, they know exactly how it tastes. But when you say, "Hey, look," and you make them eat with their eyes first, speculation is allowed. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that's great, you know, and I think it's healthy for the community. And I think that also keeps the developers from having to give you like solid information all the time, because it's too easy to walk yourself into a corner, to say something, and then you end up having to backtrack for whatever reason, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's two sides to it personally. As a content creator, I do prefer the text-based like messages and us breaking it down, because for example, the last developers update we got, I think I didn't post it for like 2 weeks after.
Yeah, you was late,
on holiday. I was late, but there's people in my comments that were like, I was waiting for this. Like, I was waiting for your kind of input on what this meant and your breakdown of what we're seeing here. And that's where that whole, depending on what creator you enjoy most, they're going to break it down differently. However, from a business side of things, I do understand why they went down if they are going down the method of more visual and videos and stuff like that, because those that don't follow their favorite content creator and more casual fans just want to watch what's new and just keep it moving with their day. And I guess that's an audience they do need to kind of tap into more. Then not everyone's following a particular YouTuber. Some people just want to know what the developer's got to say and keep it going. So I guess there's a fine line between the two that I'd like to see met, especially as a content creator, because I do enjoy breaking stuff down and having my own interpretation and speculation on what we're seeing in front of us and what that might mean in the future. If it's all just fed to us, then it's like, this is what we got, but this way, you know, you can still speculate, but it ain't quite the same.
Yeah. So you said the casual fan base. I think there's a place for casual fans, literally in every gaming community, right? Your casual fans are going to be the ones that's going to be watching, you know, the YouTube videos of the pros or the real high level players. You know, they're going to be the ones that's going to be big on your guides on what to do, you know. But when you talk about casuals, man, at least what I've been looking online, kind of like in the social medias, is that you have a really big fan base that wants to play offline, but then you have another complete side of that, that wants to play online, right? Not all casuals, and it's everybody's starting to get that moniker. Like, if you're a hardcore gamer, you're going to be in the online modes, competing, all this type of stuff. Where do you think ESBC is going to see its like real success? Do you think it's going to be in the offline, or do you think it's going to be in the online? Because, and again, shout outs to Poe, man, because I know Poe's going out there. He's done polls. He's He's tracked information back from like Fight Night. And if you look at Fight Night did not really have its major success in the online. But dog, that was almost 11 years ago.
A very long time ago.
And the whole world, the demographic, everything has changed, yo, when it comes to the realm of online gaming. And ESBC is considered an e-sport. And tournaments are going to be a big deal once this game actually fully launches. So where do you think the game is going to have its most success at, yo?
I got a question before I answer that question.
Yep.
In terms of, do you not think that the success of online is dependent on what modes and features are available to online? Like, you can't just have some random match between me and Johnny from Ireland, and that's what online looks like. Do you not think that features and modes and stuff play a huge part in that success?
Yes, they actually play a huge part in that success, and it's a part of that connected world, right? That's what online is for, man. Like, it's the connected world. So how much is ESBC going to connect everyone when it comes to like online play, man? Like, am I going to have an online career where I fight against randoms, where I set up deals against randoms, I set up fights and negotiate, and I'm allowed to talk junk through social media, you know what I'm saying, against random cats, like in the game, like a real build up to a fight? Because I want full control over a game, man. Like, especially with this one, you talking about, you giving me RPG aspects, dog. I want full control, the whole shebang, dude. Like, I want it all. Like, if I can have my man lace up his own shoes, I'm taking
I want to be Eddie Heard. I want to be everyone.
You know, like, give me all of that, but allow me to experience that with other people around the world. Give me that full experience. Like when I did the interview with Fred Talks Fight, shout outs to him.
Shout out to Fred, man.
We was talking about an online career, and it's like, let me make a gym. Let me make the Coach's Corner gym. Let you make the Concept Reese's gym, where you can invite people from your community, man, to actually join your gym. Y'all can spar, you can, you know what I'm saying, all of that. Or you can set up competitions gym to gym. Yo, how dope would that be? You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot you can do. So with that one arena, I think it's just like a gym. It looks like a gymnasium where there's like a boxing ring in there and stuff you can do there, pad work.
Yo.
There's a lot of potential there for online. So I said this a couple of videos ago where I want people to be able to join my stable. So people go, I'm part of the Concept Reese community, and because I'm part of that Concept Reese community, my shorts are red but my gloves are blue. That's how you can tell me apart from the Coach's Corner, whose shorts are red but gloves are gold. And that's how we tell people apart. And we have competitions that way. It's a way to bring the content creators with the gamers together. It's something you can do as a unity piece. There's so much potential with online modes, especially like you said, 10, 11 years ago, I guess online was very basic back then in terms of what you could offer, especially on Fight Night. Today, there's so much you can do. Like, if I'm fighting you, when we sign that contract, Coach, and you know, you ain't booking me.
Look, don't petition for something you don't really want.
You know, don't, you know, I'm saying someone's looking, it ain't me. So, but neither here nor there for now. But when it comes to that, I could go, actually, I need King Juice to help me train up here. I think King Juice is going to be the guy that's going to get me there, or JMMA or Fanatico or whoever is going to get me to that place. And you can do the same. You can get your people on board and we can get into a position where we're ready to fight each other. And then there's stuff we've seen. I don't know too much about it. I think it's like the EBL. Is that a thing?
Yep.
I've seen stuff around them about promoting fights and pay-per-view stuff and gamer cards, which are amazing, by the way. Their cards are crazy good.
Dude, the Hector Camacho card was fire, dude.
The Clarissa Shields.
Fire.
Clarissa Shields card, though.
Dude, they're doing it. Them cards is dope, yo.
Yeah, the cards. I need a card. I need a card. I think I'm gonna need a card. Straight up. Back to it though. There's a lot of promotion you can do around it, and it makes it more real life. Like, I want to be able to be in a position where, I don't know, Fanatico is up against Biz, and we can watch it pay-per-view style, like a real boxing match. It's going to be up for a belt. Man, tune in 8 p.m. EST or whatever. It's going to kick off.
You know what I'm saying? With two shoutcasters. Like you would really put the tournament scene almost, because we don't know a lot. And I've said this in previous videos too, dog. Like we don't know pretty much anything about tournaments, how the setup is going to be, any of that.
No.
At this current junction, right? The community itself has already taken the tournament aspect almost out your hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's gone.
Dude, there's probably about 6 or 7 leagues already created out there for tournaments. So do you, at this point as a developer, do you grasp onto one of their concepts and then just and move it forward? Or do you still have your own plans for what it is that you're going to do? You know, because we're kind of in a dark right now as far as tournaments go. So it has, like, look at what's going on. And look, I'll give you another example, right? This is just how active this community is. You've had the monthly updates removed. What happens towards the end of the month? Fanatical does I'm doing a monthly like roundup. He's already replaced what it is that they have with his own concept. We don't know anything about tournaments. What happened? We got 10 leagues created, plus cards, plus belts. Like, if you ain't active enough at CI, community is gonna go out there and they're gonna do it for you.
that do you know what though? It's a good thing, and that's how most games work in a weird way. So if you look at GTA is just online open world go and shoot things. It's the creators, it's the people that are fans of GTA that make GTA what it is today, where you've got Hulk in there and you've got Batman flying around and doing you see it all the time. Superman's in the game. Like, all this crazy stuff is happening within GTA. Similarly, I can see that happening to ESBC, where probably to not that extent where we're seeing Ronald McDonald versus Barney, but we might see stuff like a custom eSports,
like celebrity deathmatch.
Yeah, like 50 Cent versus Snoop Dogg, like crazy stuff.
Hey, look, I'd almost pay to have a 50 versus Floyd at this point. You know what I'm saying?
I will pay to watch 50 Cent versus Floyd Money Mayweather all day. I'll actually come out there. But as I was saying, like we said, I think you're right. There's going to be an element of the fans taking it out of the games, the company's hands, SCI's hands, and making it their own, man. Like, that's what all games, and that's the beauty of it, though.
It is. Yeah, you're right. Like, I think there's still a sense that SCI is an indie company. I don't, dude. I would never call SCI indie company again.
Nah, not
and
anymore.
The quality of the game so far is just too good. Indie companies don't do stuff like that. Indie companies don't link up with 1024. Indie companies don't have Empire Pro Tape, the WBC, the BBBFC, the IBF, the you know what I'm saying? Indie companies don't do that type of stuff.
No, you don't get Canelo and Tyson Fury on your first rodeo.
Yo, what?
Like,
they are not an indie company to me, dude. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Never will I call them an indie company again.
And you've got to look at it, man. Like, comparing a little bit of apples and oranges here, but you look at a company like Pro Evolution Soccer, and they've been going for, I don't know how much you know about this game, but they've been going for a very long time. Since I was at school. And they're still struggling to get licenses for clubs, for names of players and all that stuff. Like, so to have this game that it started off as always an indie company, just getting big names and this Mayweather drop, which we haven't even spoke about yet, which is crazy. It's just the start, man.
Yeah. So that was next up. And again, yo, shout outs to Fred Talks Fighting again, dude, because he had just had Mayweather on. You know,
Yeah, Jeff on, man.
Just had him on, and how he kept that a secret, I have no idea. How Mayweather didn't come out and just say, "Yeah, I'm in the game." You know, look, dude held that in pretty good. But then we found out that he's more than likely a coach in the game.
Yeah,
right?
oh yeah.
You know, him and Mayweather Senior, both in the game. Now, they look, man. Everybody out here is a detective. You know, does those two Mayweather names mean to you that we will see Floyd Jr. in the game?
All right, I already spoke to NASA. I spoke to the London Metropolitan Police. We managed to get pictures. Managed to get the scans of Floyd Mayweather deep in the game. He's deep in there. No, it does mean, for me, I think it's a good starting point. I mean, there was Jeff Mayweather. Yeah, he's kept things quiet, hasn't he? But there's one thing that, and again, shout out to Fred Talks Fighting, man. If you guys haven't checked him, go and check out Fred Talks Fighting. Like, I'm going to push him for a minute because he's amazing with what he does. But he did say that when he's asked, do you think Floyd Mayweather is going to be in this game? He just straight out said, don't know if you can afford him.
Dude,
and that's the reality of it, isn't it? I mean, just because Mayweather, Jeff's in there and Floyd's in there, their price tag ain't going to be Floyd's price tag.
Oh, no.
It's going to be a very different kind of cost. This is going to be like Ford versus Mercedes. I'm talking in terms of prices. But it's a good sign. I mean, there might be some convincing we could do in terms of Jeff. Hey, Jeff, do you want to talk to Floyd and see if we can get him involved? But it increases the chances. That's all I'll say. But I will never say no, because I said we'll never get Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua, and we've got Tyson Fury. So who knows? But what about you? Do you think this is the sign that we're going to get Floyd in this game?
I'm with you. I think it's a start, right? Because if you look at the history, we knew that Eddie Reynoso was in, and then everybody connected the dots and said, look, Eddie Reynoso's in there. There's a good, he's a link to Canelo. There's a chance that we can get Canelo in there, you know. And then it happened, right? If Tyson Fury was a completely different situation, because where everybody's like, yo, Tyson's linked up to EA, man. He's doing good over there. They did his character model. Yo, he's over there looking like Broly from Dragon Ball Z. Like, he's got everything that he want over at EA, man. He's got abs, you know.
Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody.
Donatello looking.
Nobody thought that Tyson Fury was going to come over to ESBC and look realistic.
Nah, man. Man. Different night and day, bro.
Completely night and day. Who signed off on that over there at UFC, dog? Who signed off on that? Fire that man today, all right? Because I think he's got a crush on Tyson Fury. There's no way, all right, that you look like that, B.
He said, they actually got it right at first. And then the guy was like, yo, where's his six-pack? He doesn't have six-pack. You better give him a six-pack. You know? It's my dream. It's my dream.
In my nightly dreams.
It's my dream.
He's got a six-pack. You know?
Make it happen. Now, quick. Chop. Like, don't talk to me all week.
Y'all are bugging. I need y'all to put him on AJ's body and recolorize him. You know what I'm
saying? Turn the contrast right down. All the way down. -4, and we're good.
Dude,
but the crazy thing is they actually have his body type in Daniel Cormier. DC has Tyson Fury's body perfectly, by the way, like Google it. But then they gave Tyson Fury full-blown six-pack abs. Come on, bro. That was Raphael. You had the skins. You had skins from a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game that you was going to create, and you didn't want to change it around, so you just turned him from green to white and just said, that will do. That's it.
They were bugging. They
were crazy, man. They were crazy.
Boy, dude, they don't know nothing like that. But regardless, like, everybody's still gonna connect those dots too. Tyson Fury's in the game now. AJ's got to be right behind him, right?
Yeah.
I personally don't think so when it comes to that. I don't think he's gonna be right behind him, man. I don't think EA ain't dumb, right? If one guy got away, I think they're gonna do everything they can, to lock down the other. Because they would be foolish to believe that SCI hasn't reached out to AJ already and said, hey, you want to be in the game. Dude, as a boxer, right? I think it was Jeff Mayweather that was like, dude, I would be honored to actually be in this game. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is a sentiment shared, by all the boxers across the board. If you watch my interview with with Jamel Herring and with Sulim Orbina.
Mhm.
Both of them talked as though like they were super honored, yo. They even had gotten contacted by SCI to be in the game because everybody wants to be immortalized, yo. Like it's like nothing to be able to sit down and play this game with your kids and be like, yeah, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like your father's inside of a video game. You know what I mean?
And shout out to you for getting that interview, by the way. I've watched that one or two times now, and it's nice to see a fellow content creator out here interviewing the boxers. Like, obviously, I know we got Fred Talks Fighting, but obviously someone else as well going out there and interviewing boxers about this game and getting some inside information, man. But the question is, when's that second one? Because obviously we had the Shakur Stevenson fight announced on one of the last ESBC videos. So this is a good opportunity for you, man.
Yeah, it is. Like I've reached out. I have talked to Jamel again. I reached out. I did get in contact with Shakur Stevenson's manager. The issue right now is timing, setting everything up right. And it's as much of a good opportunity as it is, it's a tough one at the same time because they are both in camp right now to fight each other and trying to look, I'm not fight hype, you know what I mean? Like I'm not traveling to Newark or you know to where they're training at and they're just walking up in the ring with a camera and a ring light.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
nah.
Like I can't get on the spot like that. So it takes it's timing, man, and scheduling and stuff like that. And that's really where the difficulty comes in. But give it some time, man. I'm persistent as hell. So give it some time.
I like it, bro. I like it. That would be an amazing interview. It's definitely a fighter that I've kind of slept on a little bit. Obviously, the Carl Frampton fight kind of brought that back for me when it comes to Herring. His size, man, he looks big in the ring. What is he like? Is he like 5'10", 5'11"?
Fighting Marine, dude. He's not a small guy.
No, he's not.
And honestly, if we want to segue real quick into that fight, real quick, let me just touch on that real quick. I do believe that is going to be a very challenging fight for Shakur. As big of a fan of Shakur as I am, right? I do believe that is going to be a challenging fight for him. And you know, boxing will tell you you're only as good as your last performance. And he was in there with a guy who was weird, he was awkward, he was tall, he was rangy. Dude actually did have some pop to it. And you can't just throw caution to the wind, yo, just to get in there and entertain, right? Ultimately, you want to come out with the W. But if you look at Jamel Herring is tall, he's rangy, he's got some pop. He's a better technical fighter than his last opponent, Shakur's last opponent. And that Shakur don't like to get touched. He said it himself. I don't like to get hit. No fighter does, unless you're Ricardo Mayorga and you're sitting there asking people to punch you in the face.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He wants it, man.
You know, but what we need to see in this next fight, yo, is how does Shakur change that up? Does he become more like a Devin Haney who wants to sit right in there, mid-range with you, pop, move, but take that extra risk? Is that what we're going to see, or are we going to see the fully defensively responsible Shakur that we're used to seeing who hangs on the outside?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. We won't deviate too much into that though. We'll go too much because I know what we're like, man.
I lose it. I'll talk all day, dog. I'll talk all day.
Same, man. We just start talking about random. We start talking about, man, did you watch that Rocky Marciano fight back in 19? Like, what are you talking about? How did we get here?
But yeah, so look, going back, since we talked about Floyd, what do you think of the chances of us getting Manny Pacquiao in ESBC?
It's tough, man. It's a tough one. I think Floyd is equally, not Floyd, but Manny's equally as hard to get as Floyd. Probably harder because he's a politician. You know, you're trying to deal with someone that's highly secured, who's got a political background. It's not going to be an easy one. It wouldn't. In my head, I've got it. I used to have it as it would be easier to get Manny than it would to get Floyd. But now what we've seen Jeff Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather Sr. in the game, I think that the tide's turned a little bit, and it's now Floyd looks like the easier of the two. I think I remember I remember a few years ago why, because he wasn't in Fight Night champion Floyd Mayweather, and I think that was because he
Cost
wanted
too
to
much.
start his own. Yeah, that's right. It cost too much, and I think he wanted to start his own boxing game.
He did talk about it. But I don't think anybody really took Floyd seriously, about starting a boxing game.
No. So I imagine he's got a different mindset with that now. I don't think he's a gamer like that, Floyd Mayweather. I don't think that was his. Obviously, he's a money guy, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think there's more likely to get Floyd than it is Manny. But what about you? If it was between the two,
I think it's going to be very well. I think you have to get to somebody who can get to Manny. Manny's got fighters in the stable, right? Like my man who just fought on his undercard. What's his name? Max Sayo, who just fought on there. So, believe it or not, I know that talk has happened. You know what I'm saying?
Inside scoop.
If you could get into the camp, then I think there's a chance that you have a better chance of getting to Manny. You know what I'm saying? And that's a real big open window. It's a big open window there. But you're right, man. If they go the traditional route and dude, a politician, how do you get in touch with a politician like that?
You can't, man. You can't. It's not a little politician either. It's Manny Pacquiao, the politician. Everyone in their dog wants to talk to Manny, especially in the Philippines. How is it gonna happen?
Yeah, this ain't like in the States where you just send an email to your mayor.
No. You said no. Ain't no email access like that over there. It's just straight. You want to talk to me face to face? Best of luck to you. You're gonna get through that row of security before you even touch me.
Dude, you better be waiting out there in the crowd of people who wait for Manny to come out after a hard day's work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else you're gonna get to him, yo. Getting to Manny Pacquiao has got to be extremely, extremely difficult. Extremely difficult.
Who do you predict the next big releases? If you had to put your money on anyone, who would it be?
Oh man, it's hard. I don't even know, dude. Like, I don't know, and it's because there's so many that's still left. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many that's still left out there. I could give you who I would want to see the next big one. And I would hope that it was Errol Spence. That would be, you want to blow me away right now? Get Errol Spence in there. Other than that, man, I do think they need to go after some of these, like this young talent. And don't get me wrong, I don't believe that they haven't, but I would like to get a Teofimo Lopez in there also. Those right now would probably be my top two for the next like big announcement.
Not bad ones, especially Errol. I think with TC being in the game, that rivalry between TC and Errol just needs to happen. It's the one that makes the most sense. Like if whoever I select, which I'm going to give you in a minute, they wouldn't make as much sense as Errol Spence. That's the guy that he just has to be in the game. He just has to be. But mine would be, I've got a weird one, right? I've got a feeling that if they do announce AJ, they'll announce Eddie at the same time, and they'll have the vision. They'll have the whole thing ready. Like, it'll be ready. It'll be scanned in, and Eddie will be standing right next to him in the ring. That's the visual I've got in my head. That is the visual. Because there is still, if you go on the ESBC website and you look at like roster and you keep scrolling down, there is spaces available for like managers and promoters and stuff like that. So I think I just got a feeling. I've got, like, we spoke about this actually. I know it's in our last video before this one, but we said that one of the clips looks just like Eddie Hearn's back garden.
Yes.
Like, spitting image. Like, I said that when I watched it. You said it,
dude. You said it. I did say it. And I've been a believer ever since.
I watched it, and the first time I watched it, I said, that is Eddie Hearn's back garden. The lighting, like the mansion behind, it's 100% his. And I've just got a feeling they're gonna try and do Eddie and AJ at the same time. That's my prediction. That's my prediction.
Oh, that would be dope. That'd be crazy dope, man. Like, Tank would be another really good, and Tank would be another link to Floyd. if you announce Tank, because now you got, you know what I'm saying, family members around him, and then you throw Tank in, that's a lot of TMT members.
Yeah, yeah. But I think Tank would make sense. I think if we get, obviously we got Floyd and we got Jeff. If we get Tank as well, I mean, like all the signs are pointing, aren't they? Like, I hope it's not as obvious as when we got David Hay. That that was just straight in our face, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah, like, and I'll say this too. I'll throw this out there just for, you know, just play devil's advocate a little bit. I don't necessarily believe that means that he's in the game, right?
I agree.
And I say that because what we don't know is whether David Hay is a contributor to the game itself financially. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could very well just be a big time contributor to the success of the game financially wise. Therefore, having that connection to it, he's going to want to see that type of, he's going to want to see the success of the game anyway. So why not go ahead and rock the logo? Just to throw that out there for food for thought, you know?
Yeah, no, it does make sense. But I think for me, it's if it was percentages, I would be leaning 60-40 that he's in the game.
No doubt.
That's my prediction. The reason I say that is, yes, okay, the logo is right on his chest. I mean, deep on his chest. Like, it couldn't get any closer to his heart, how close that logo was. And the second reason was we saw Jorge Linares fight with the ESBC logo. Obviously, he's in the game. So, I mean, the signs are pointing the right way.
For sure.
Which I'm happy about. I love David Hay. If you're from, I know you're not a Brit, but David Hay's an amazing, he's just, for a British guy, my age range, we love him.
David the Haymaker Hay. Hey, look, I watched. I was in Italy, dude, when he fought Klitschko. So.
Oh man.
Dude, I go back. I go back with Hay, man. I go back with Hay. So last topic, man, before we get out of here. Who would be the top 2 creators right now that you would want to see square off in ESBC? Since we talked tournaments and stuff already, man, all that stuff, who would be the top 2 creators that you would want to see go at it at ESBC?
Man, it's tough. Real tough, actually. Real tough. Depends on what kind of mood I'm in. The obvious one in my head's Fanatico, just because I've seen some of the videos he's done where he's fought some of the best fighters in Fight Night Champion. It'd be interesting to see how he transfers over to ESBC and see how he gets on there. So I'm probably going to put Fanatico in there. Man, I would like to see how Showbiz does. I don't know if Showbiz is a gamer, but yeah, if Showbiz can game, that contrast between like the more chilled Fanatico and like the vibrant and lively Showbiz, I want to see how that looks like on video. That could actually be a lot of fun.
So I'll give you a mixed bag, right? I'll say Prioxis, because I know he's a gamer. I know he does a lot of UFC, but I did see him dabble in like Fight Night the other day. Prezi, I want to see Prezi get down. JMMA.
Yeah, Jay. Definitely Jay.
Juice and Poe. And the only reason I throw in Poe is because Poe has a background already. I know Poe's gonna be watching this. And he's like, I ain't into the competitive, like, you know what I'm saying? All I'm looking for is the offline play. You know what I mean? But I would like to see him thrown into that. You know, because if the game is like it is, yo, and he's able to really get his brain into the game, which is what I'm really looking forward to myself. I think it would be good to see like how well like Poe would actually do competing in the game. You know what I mean? But yes, any one of those names interchangeably, I would like to see any one of them square off. I would almost say Poe versus King Juice because they've been around in the community for so long.
If it was King Juice, I think for me it'd be JMMA, just because I know how close they are, and it'd be really interesting to see how them two go at it. Because I've been on a few JMMA streams. Yeah. I just watch him play, and I've watched him not necessarily play a boxing game, but I've just watched him game, and I've gone, oh, he's pretty good. He's a pretty good gamer. So I want to see how King Juice and JMMA get at it. That'd be an interesting one.
I think watching that fight would be extremely entertaining because of their personalities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
true.
think that would be extremely entertaining watching their personality. So I get asked all the time, like when we go to get Coach versus Fanatical, you know what I'm saying? But
That's a good
like
one.
like I'm not like super vocal unless I have to be. I ain't super savage unless I have to
You are,
be.
yeah, you savage, bro. I don't care what you tell me. You savage as hell, bro. You know, he's savage. He's savage.
But then, Fanatical is pretty laid back too. So I think you would really end up getting like a battle of the minds between the two of us. But I don't know if it'll be as wildly entertaining as like a Juice versus a JMMA.
Yeah, that's. I don't know, man. I think that'd be quite a good one, man. I think it'd be two chilled guys at it. I think I'd watch that. I'd stay up to watch that fight. I know you guys are obviously US based, so you know this is like me staying up for a big PPV fight. So you like you like must feel blessed. But no, that would be a good fight. There's a lot of good fights we gotta make within this community, and I think there's a lot of I don't like the word fans. I hate that word, but I can't think of anything else right now. A lot of fans that would tune in to watch their favorite content creator go at it against, man. They'll be like, damn, man, like, I don't know, Coach versus Fanatical. That's a big one, man. Like boxing MMA versus Juice. Damn, that's a big one, man.
See, man, we can't do Coach versus Concept Reach, man. I ain't trying to have your community coming over to mine, blaming me for beating up on you, dog. Like, I don't like crushing dreams, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like crushing dreams. Are you looking at? Look, I don't like crushing dreams. Okay.
You look at my heart like that again, I'm gonna crush you like I'm gonna crush you like a twig.
Hey, look, man. Yo, this was dope, V. We got to do this again, man. Sit down. We might have to find like a specific time frame, to come back and do this like every 2 weeks or something like that, yo. This is mad dope.
We'll make it happen, man. We'll make it happen. Like it's two chill people, man. It builds it up, I guess, for when the game does come out. Because people are gonna say, "Where's that Concept Reese versus Coach fight?" I want to see that. So, because my fans are saying, "Man, when you fighting Fanatical, when you fighting this guy," and I'm like, "Man, I sound like age. I'm humble. I'm just humble. I'm just waiting."
Yeah. Stay hungry, stay humble, right?
That's it, man. If anyone wants this smoke, you let me know in the comments below if you want that smoke.
Hey, look, man. Good way to sign out. Hey, that's all we got today, V. Oh, Reese, man, you got anything else?
Nah, that's it, really. I mean, Coach, Concept, more stuff to come. This is only episode 1. We'll get some more content out for you guys, man.
Love it. Hey, stay hungry, stay humble.
Yeah, peace out.